Negotiating and awarding a tender. When the publication date has passed, the tender will be automatically closed, and no more submissions are allowed by the vendors. The bids can now be opened to view the vendor responses. If the tender needs bid opening approval, click the Approve Reject button, approve and enter a password. Otherwise just an Open Bids button will show. Now the bids are open, we can get a quick overview of the submissions by viewing the Bid Evaluation Report. This report shows each vendor's non-compliant and outstanding negotiation items. We can also pick any of the comparison reports, to view each vendor's technical and commercial responses. In this example, we look at the pricing report, which by default gives an overview, and totals for all the documents where a price has been entered. Click the document name to get more detailed information. The comparison reports are shown in a separate video. Once we have looked at a quick overview, we can open the documents to see the individual vendor response. Expand the Documents section and select a document. Even though vendor responses can be viewed and negotiated, none of the items can be accepted. This is because we have not shortlisted any vendors. Go back to the overview screen, click the Shortlist Vendors button, and select the vendors to shortlist. The document list now shows an alert icon next to each document, to indicate there are items in the document that need to be accepted. Open the same document. Now we can see the headings in the outline tree are all highlighted red with an alert icon. This indicates that item has not been accepted. An Accept this offer checkbox in the document is now available. Go through the document and accept the items. When an item has been accepted, the heading will change from red to black, the alert icon will disappear, and the name and date of the person who last accepted will show underneath the vendor response. If an item needs negotiating, in this example a priced item, click in the current price, update, and click the Save button. The item will stay red but the icon will change to show it's under negotiation. Repeat this process for all vendors, by changing vendors from the vendor selector. When the vendor logs into iSpec, the outstanding tasks will show which tenders are currently under negotiations. Expand the Documents section, and the document under negotiations will show an alert icon. Open the documents, any items under negotiations will be highlighted red with an alert icon in the outline tree. The vendor can accept or make a counter offer. Enter any optional text, update the price and click Save. After saving, the heading will change to black, and the alert icon will disappear. Now the vendor has made a counteroffer, we can open the document and the item will still be highlighted red. iSpec saves a record of all negotiations for that item, so we can click the history link to view all the previously entered prices. These negotiations go on until either the negotiator, or the vendor accepts the offer. When all the items are black, the negotiations for that document are complete. Go through each document accepting or negotiating items. We can also quickly accept compliant items, or batch accept everything, using the links at the top of the document. If any items are non-compliant, they will need to be manually accepted. Repeat this process for each vendor. We can also use the Batch Accept tools in the Documents section, to accept all compliant items or everything in all of the documents. This can be applied to individual or all vendors. When a document is complete, the alert icon next to the document will disappear. When all document alerts have disappeared, the tender can be awarded. If the tender requires an awarded cost to be entered, this needs to be entered first. If it is not required, then the tender can be awarded straight away. To award the tender, click the Select Winning Bid button. Select the successful vendor from the drop-down list and enter a password. The tender has now been awarded. If the tender needs awarding approval, this will also need to be completed by the approver. Click the Approve Reject button, then enter an optional comment and password. Now the tender has been awarded, we need to set the contract preparation date, and the contract start date. Finally, iSpec can send out a message to unsuccessful vendors. This is optional but the widget will show until messages have been sent to all unsuccessful vendors. Click the Send button, select the vendors, and enter any additional comments in the Messenger window. The negotiating and awarding process is now complete. We can now go on to the contract management side of the tender process.